Alright, we are continuing where we left off, and now I'm not exactly sure where I'm fully going, but since I have a little bit more tools on hand than I did previously, and that there was a tool in the nightmare I do remember, it's possible that maybe I can get access to that room in the dream that was boarded off. So let's give that a try. If I'm lucky, it'll work. Still not sure. Well, you can tear that all you want. I don't really care. Hey, I didn't see this before. How come I couldn't do this last time? Well, looks like I was right. Maybe. Aha! Wheels. Well, where there's wheels, there's oil. Aha! It worked. Guess the dream was real. What'd you read? I don't remember reading anything about this. Not really sure I want to go in here. Well, here we go. Dark room. Can't see a whole lot. Well, okay. How do I light it? Whoa. It's the mask from the... It's gotta be the mask from the, oh, you know, that thing. That, the... What's that word? Journal! Thank you! Odd-looking African mask was positioned in the middle of the storeroom. Its presence made me feel terribly uneasy. No kidding. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing. July the 3rd. My recent researches on the Dhalmaar have shed some light upon their terrible activities. I understand now that the lack of existing information about them was not the only cause of their small size and rarity, but also a reluctance or rather a superstitious attitude towards their nature. Even some of the most important historians of South Africa will refuse to mention their name, usually referring to them as the War Tribe. After digging into some of the most obscure books I could find about the subject, I must admit now that reading them made me, very nervous and uneasy, bringing back the memory of those horrible acts I witnessed on that day. I can't understand why any human being, uncivilized or not, would behave in such a manner. War among savage tribes is, of course, very common and a recurring theme in history, but the Dhalmaar, they went beyond war. Usually a tribe will engage in battle to conquer a new territory or perhaps defeat an enemy. They did it for the sole reason of destruction and extreme love for violence. The account of their actions is downright scary. They invade villages, slaughtering every inhabitant without regard for their sex or age. Men, women, children would inevitably perish by their fury and hate, which is, I think, the most unsettling element of their stories. They didn't use any weapons. They killed villagers with their bare hands and teeth as if they were drawing power from an unearthly source. I find it hard to believe this, and if I hadn't seen them with my own eyes, I'd say they were some kind of wild legend. Once they slaughtered every living thing in the village, they'd burn it to the ground. Every single construction or possession of the fallen villagers proved that they were definitely not interested in conquering or even taking some advantage of their terrain. Their motives were moved solely and purely of an incredible disdain of life and hatred towards anything that wasn't from their village. That is another curious thing. They somehow managed to sustain a constant population level, as if they controlled exactly the amount of people they needed for an attack, but at the same time warrant survival using their few existing resources. I fear this wasn't some kind of wondrous organization system, but rather an elimination process of useless members or unnecessary child. I dare not think about it, but I'm afraid that this would explain why they didn't want to hunt for food. They feasted upon themselves. Now I know what the mask I took stands for, and I shiver the thought of it. I must confess I'm worried. I don't know why, but I fear for my life. Oof. Here's another one. June 24th, 1962. Dear Christopher, please excuse the tone of this letter, but I know I must sound like a raving madman. But I truly can't find a proper way to put together all the thoughts that have been taking my sleep away these past days. There's a reason behind all those recent adversities. It's the mask, Christopher. It's the mask I told you about. I wouldn't believe it myself, but if I hadn't studied its origins on my own. But it's really the source of all my suffering. The tribe it belonged to. I must confess, I didn't take the mask by appropriate means, and I fear this might have unleashed some terrible wrath against my life and everything that surrounds me. It's been over a year ago since I witnessed the most outrageous acts of violence that is not even in my worst nightmares could I have imagined, and the mask was the epicenter of it all. What I was thinking of when I took it is beyond me. It was probably a vicious streak of greed, but I can see clearly now. It represents evil, and I am truly convinced this evil can somehow take shape and punish those who have disgraced it. I did, and now I must face the consequences. I will take some more time to investigate this. I might even go back to South Africa to seek help, although something tells me not even returning the mask would do any good. The damage is already done, and I believe it's getting worse as the days goes by. Every time I walk past the gallery, I can hear some incessant odd chatter, as if something was being plotted inside. And those voices, Christopher, they seem to be angry. Please help me, and come and see me as soon as you can. James. Oh boy. Now what? This is not good. Okay, so is there anything else of value in this room? Doesn't look like it. So, with that, I am going to split the next part, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.